A large two-topping pizza from Tony's Pizzeria has 8 slices and costs $16. Vivian wants to know the cost per slice. Complete the ratio of dollars to slices.
All right, so we got dollars to slices. All you gotta do is follow the directions. The dollars is 16. So we're gonna type 16. How do I know to do dollars first? Because when I read the sentence, I see 8 first. So why am I not putting 8? Because it says complete the ratio of dollars to slices. So since they asked for dollars first, that goes in the first box. And they asked for slices second, so that goes in the second box.
What is the cost of 1 slice of pizza? Complete the table.
All right, Farge, what's the cost of 1 slice of pizza?
Shoot.
All right, how did you get 2?
2.
Yeah, how did you get that?
Because 8 times 2 is 16.
All right, so he said he did like this. He said 8 times 2 is 16. So then you got to do 1 times 2, because you got to do the same thing. And 1 times 2 is 2. So that means our answer here is going to be 2.
We call the number of dollars per slice the rate. 16/8 dollars per 1 slice is the same as $2 per slice. Sam counted his heartbeats while resting. His heart beat 220 times in 4 minutes. Sam's heart beat at the same rate for the 4 minutes. Complete the ratio of beats
All right,
to minutes.
Queen Africa, what's this ratio? All right, Farge, I know you know the answer, but it's Queen Africa's turn. So if we don't hear from her, then we're going to have to turn our cameras on. We're on already. We just started, so you can probably catch up.
Whenever you all have seen us vowel, a consonant, vowel.
All right, so since we're not hearing from Queen Africa, we're gonna have to turn our cameras on. So I know who's like at the computer. So we're not gonna move on till everyone has their camera on. You don't have to have your microphone on, but you gotta have your camera on. All right, Farge, good job following directions. So, all right, we're gonna keep waiting. All right, Torian, good job. All right, Daryl, good job. Nashani, good job. So we're gonna wait on Queen Africa and Petit. All right, so I'll give them 1 more minute, and then they're gonna get like marked absent, even though it says they're here, if they don't turn their camera on. They must not be here since they can't hear me. this will save us some time. Okay, Queen Africa's here. All right. You can do the other lesson after this one. So this one shouldn't take that long. But you, Torian, you gotta put your camera back on. And Queen Africa, you gotta put your camera on, but you don't have to have the mic on. You can keep typing. So I can make sure we're staying at the computer. All right, Torian, can you help us with this problem? The number of beats per minute. All right, Torian, do you know the answer? If it's too loud, you can type your answer. All right, we'll try Daryl. Do you know the answer to this? A minute.
So let's just 20 on the first block at 4.
220 beats in 4 minutes.
Complete the statement to show the rate in beats per minute.
All right, for this one, Sam's heart rate is blank over blank beats per 1 minute. So we need to have, I believe, this to be 1. And how did I get this to 1? I did 4 divided by 4. So to get the top box, I got to do 220 divided by 4. So 220 divided by 4 is, yes, that's correct, 55. So I believe that's what they're looking for. So let's see if that's correct.
Good. Simplify the rate.
So Farge, what's 55 divided by 1?
The answer gonna be 4.
It's not gonna be 4, but make sure you put your camera back on so I know you're still at your computer. It's 55 divided by 1.
50.
What is that? It's not 4. Yes, 55.
55.
We call the part of the rate that is compared to 1 the unit rate. A triathlon is a 3-part race, which includes running, swimming, and biking. Sophia is training for a triathlon. She swims 40 meters in 50 seconds, moving at a constant speed. Sophia wants to know her rate in meters per second. Complete the ratio of meters to
All right,
seconds.
Fatigue. Well, what's this ratio?
$40 meters and then 50 seconds.
That's correct, but it was Petit's turn. So 40 meters. So since Petit's being unresponsive, we'll move him out of the room. All right. All right, 40 meters to 50 seconds.
Complete the rate in meters per second.
All right, so this one we'll go with Queen Africa. What's this going to be? All right. Queen Africa, do you know the answer?
Forty over
Yes,
50.
40 over 50 is correct. So they said meters per second. So the meters goes on top, which is 40, and the seconds goes on the bottom, which is 50. Farge, your answer is also right, because if you simplify it, it's the same thing. So
Simplify the rate.
Farge said is 4 over 5, which is correct, because to get from 50 to 5, you divide, yes,
Mr. Gerard,
by 10. So, yes.
Mr. Gerard,
So
after
what?
that, times
Yes.
Mr. Gerard,
Yes.
Mr. Gerard,
Yes. Yes.
Mr. Gerard.
That's it.
Oh, Nishani, you should be working on your iReady test. It says you're still at 52%, which is what you were at the beginning of class.
A jumpathon is a fundraiser in which participants jump rope for a certain amount of time or complete a given number of jumps. Gia is participating in a jumpathon to raise money for her school. After completing 20 jumps, she raised $50. Gia wants to know how much money she raises per jump. Which rate shows how much money Gia raises per jump?
All right, Torian, your turn. Money per jump. So money on top, jump on the bottom. I couldn't hear your answer. You might have to type it. $50 over 20. All right. So that means not this one and not this one. And then is it dollars per jump or jumps per dollar? Dollars per jump. That's correct because it says money per jump. Money is dollars. So this one's wrong. So this is the right answer.
Choose a decimal to show the unit rate.
So to get this right here, you're doing 50 divided by 20. So let me write that down for y'all. 50 divided by 20. Where did that come from? You just take your fraction, and the fraction bar means division. So 50 divided by 20. When we do 50 divided by 20, we get 2.5. So in money terms, that's $2.50.
Dara's cell phone bill is $52. She pays the bill every 4 weeks. Dara wants to save the same amount of money each week to pay the bill. How much does Dara need to save per week?
All right. We'll go with Farge. What do you have to do to get this answer?
You gotta
All right,
divide.
so first we know it says dollars per week. So we got dollars over weeks. And then how many dollars do we have in the problem?
$52.
52. All right. And then how many weeks?
12.
She pays the bill
I
every
mean,
4
4.
weeks. All right. And then I told you that the fraction bar means division. So you're going to be dividing. So what's your division problem going to be?
52 divided by 4.
Yes. And that equals what?
13.
All right. So what goes in the box?
13.
Yes.
Great! Jalen helps his grandmother to cook their family dinner. They roast a 12-pound turkey for 3 hours, which is 180 minutes. How long does a turkey cook in minutes per pound?
All right. So we're gonna start over, and we'll have Daryl help us with this one. So it says turkey, no, minutes per pound. So that means minutes over pounds. So Daryl, how many minutes are there?
There are 180 minutes.
180. All right, how many pounds?
12. Yeah. No.
What do we have to do to get this?
Gotta.
Remember, the fraction bar means division. So what's on top? Help me out. 180 divided by what?
Divided by 12.
You know what that equals? 8 times, I'm gonna tell you, it's 15.
I'll tell you. Three hours.
Oh, our answer, what was our answer that we just said?
My answer 15.
It took a submarine 30 seconds to sink 225 feet, moving at a constant speed. The captain wants to know the submarine's speed. What is the submarine's speed in feet per second?
All right, Queen Africa. Our fraction is gonna be feet per seconds. So we got feet over seconds. So what's our fraction gonna be? The answer is not going to be a fraction. We're setting our fraction up so that we can get our actual answer. Our fraction needs to be feet over seconds. So how many feet do we have and how many seconds do we have? All right, Queen Africa, how many feet does the problem say? All right, Queen Africa, how many feet So how many feet does the problem ask for, or does the problem state? All right, so that's gonna be the top. How many seconds does the problem talk about? 30, correct. So to get the answer, I think it is 7.5. I haven't done it yet, but for the people that don't know how to do this, that's why we're doing it the long way, to show them how to get the answer. You do 225 divided by 30. And that is, you know what 225 divided by 30 is? All right, 7.5. Well, we'll see if that's right. Yes.
Great work. Complete the ratio of feet to seconds.
All right. Jameis Lee, what's the ratio of feet to seconds? All right, so we're gonna kick Jameis Lee out since he's must not be in class anyway. Okay, there we go. All right, so ratio of feet to seconds. How many feet are there in the problem?
125,
All right, and how many seconds?
30.
All right, there we go. Perfect.
Complete the rate in feet per second.
All right, so Jameis Lee, it's still your turn. It's feet over seconds. So what number goes on top?
Feet,
So what number is that?
125,
And then what goes on the bottom?
30.
Correct.
Nice. Simplify the rate.
So to get this answer, you do the top divided by the bottom. So Jameis Lee, what's 225 divided by 30?
7.5.
Yes, that's correct.
You can simplify the rate by dividing both quantities by the same number or by dividing the number of feet by the number of seconds. Ty is saving for college. His goal is to save $750 each year, and he wants to set aside the same amount each month. How much should Ty save per month?
All right, Torian, for our fraction setup, what's our like 2 units gonna be? Like what unit goes on top and what unit goes on the bottom? I couldn't hear you. I think you're gonna have to type today since you have a lot of noise in the background. $750 on top. So yes, dollars on top. And what's on the bottom?
I got you. Got you.
All right, months. All right. So then, since you said the dollars is 750, 750 is going to go on top. And then months. How many months are there? Yep, for those that don't know where he got 12 from, because there is no 12 in the problem, it says each year. You should know there's 12 months in a year. So that's where the 12 came from. But then, Torian, how do you get the answer? What's your math problem going to be? Yeah, 750 divided by 12. And what is 750 divided by 12? All right, let's see if that's correct. Well, 62.5, not 62.2. So our answer is 62.50, because money always has to have two numbers after the decimal point. You can't just put 62.5. It's going to be 62.50.
Complete the ratio of dollars to months.
All right, so it's the same thing that Torian did for us. 750 to 12 months. So
Complete the rate in dollars per month.
750 over 12, like we just did. And then when you do 7
Simplify the rate.
divided by 12, you get 62.50.
You can simplify the rate by dividing both quantities by the same number or by dividing the number of dollars by the number of months. Amar rakes leaves for his neighbors to earn money. He earned $64 after 8 hours of work. How much does Amar make per hour raking leaves?
All right, Farge, for our fraction, what unit goes on top and what unit goes on the bottom?
How much does I need help with that. Eight.
Hold on. So it says dollars per hour. So dollar goes on top. And hour goes on the bottom. So how many dollars did Amar make?
64.
That goes from the top to the bottom.
Listen, I ain't trying to be no school. Yeah.
Yes.
This is the bird.
Yes.
Reading my schedule get switched to second period, so I don't have Miss Hendry.
Uh,
I don't have
no,
her.
you have me for second period. Your schedule got changed maybe like 2 weeks ago. So if you go to your grade book, it has your classes, and it should show you got me for second period.
Yeah, he said I got second. I don't have her.
All right, hold on. I'll pull up your schedule so you can know what your schedule is. I'm gonna pull up your schedule so you can know what.
I know my schedule. I know my schedule, but Miss Hendry is saying I have her for second period, and I'm not doing my already test, but I am doing my already test. She said I have her. I have her now.
All right, hold on. Let me mute. Sorry about that. They did a test at the school. Let me just double check, because on mine it says you're in my second period. And I'll tell Miss Hendricks that if I'm correct. So it's saying that you got me for second period, and you have Miss Hendricks for fourth period. So you have Mr. Perez first period, me second period, PE third period.
I know.
All right, so it looks like you have a lot of time to work on your iReady math test, since you have me second period and you have Miss Hendricks fourth. So you're going to be working on that in both of those classes. All right, so Farge, sorry about that. Back to you. $64 goes on top, because we said dollars is on top, and hours is on the bottom. So how many hours?
8.
So then what's our division problem going to be to get the answer?
64 divided by
And
8.
what's that equal? Correct.
8.
So our answer is 8.
Great work. Complete the ratio of dollars to hours.
So it's the same thing we just did. $64 to 8 hours.
Complete the rate in dollars per hour.
$64 to 8 hours.
Simplify the
64
rate.
divided by 8 is 8.
A box of cooked whole wheat spaghetti contains 8 servings and has 28 grams of fiber. How much fiber per serving does the spaghetti have?
All right, Queen Africa. What's our 2 units? Like, which one goes on top and which one goes on the bottom?
Eight goes on top, 28 goes on the bottom.
Well, I don't want the numbers right now. I just want the like descriptions. Like on the other one, it was dollars and hours. But what would the descriptions be? So if you look at the question, it's saying grams of fiber per serving. So the thing that comes before the per is what goes on top. So that's grams of fiber on top. We'll say grams of fiber on top. Then what they say after the per goes on the bottom. So servings is on the bottom. So that's why it's important to set this up, because you said the 8 goes on top and the 28 goes on the bottom. But if you set up your fraction first, then you'll see grams of fiber is 28. You'll see servings is 8. So it's actually going to be 28 on top and 8 on the bottom. So I know this is a lot of extra steps that we don't really need, but if you do the extra steps, you're more likely to get your answers right. So we want to do the extra steps in the beginning so we can become experts. And then later on, we won't have to do all these extra steps. So once you have your fraction, you do 28 divided by 8. 28 divided by 8. I think Farge said it's 3.5, so we'll see if that's right. That's correct. 3.5. So 3.5.
You got it. Complete the ratio of grams to servings.
So it's the exact same thing that we just did. 28 to 8.
Complete the rate in grams
28.
per serving.
Over 8.
Simplify the rate.
And then 28 divided by 8 is 3.5.
Good. You can simplify the rate by dividing both quantities by the same number or by dividing the number of grams by the number of servings. Caleb can work at the car wash and earn $34 for 4 hours of work. He can also wash dishes at the restaurant and earn $51 for 6 hours of work. Caleb wants to compare his rate per hour at the two jobs. Complete the ratio of dollars to hours at the car wash.
All right, so we're gonna have Torian help us with this one. So what's our fraction? Actually, this one we don't even need the fraction. What's the dollars for the car wash? For the car wash, works at the car wash and earns $34. So it's going to be 34. Yeah. And how many hours? Correct.
How much does the car wash pay per hour?
All right.
Find the unit rate.
So Torian, how do you find how much this is? What's your math problem going to be? Yes, 34 divided by 4. And what's that give us? Or 8.5, not just 8. It's 32 divided by 4 is 8. So it's going to be 8.50 because money always has two numbers after a decimal point.
Complete the ratio of dollars to hours at the restaurant.
All right, so Torian, what about the restaurant? What's the dollars to hours? All right, 51 to what? 6. All right. And then how do we get the answer for this?
How much does the restaurant pay per hour? Find the unit rate.
What's the math problem? And what's that equal? $8.5 also. So that means our answer is $8.50.
Both jobs pay $8.50 per hour. The ratios are equivalent because the unit rates are the same. The convenience store sells a 16-ounce bottle of water for $2.40, and a 28-ounce bottle of water for $2.80. Tiana wants to compare the unit rates to find out which is a better deal. What is the cost per ounce of a 16-ounce bottle of water? Find the unit rate.
All right, so we'll go with Daryl. So Daryl, it says dollars per ounce. So what goes on the top, dollars or ounces?
Dollars.
All right, what goes on the bottom?
Per ounce.
Ounces. Then for the 16-ounce bottle, how many dollars?
$2.40.
All right, and how many ounces?
28.
16-ounce bottle.
16.
So then we got to do You know what 2.40 divided by 16 is? $0.15. That means this is going to be
What is the per ounce cost of a 28-ounce bottle of water? Find the unit rate.
all right. So for this one, Jameis, we got dollars per ounce. So what's going to go on top, dollars or ounces? All right, and ounces goes on the bottom then. So for the 28-ounce drink, how much does that cost?
Wait.
I underlined the part of the sentence that has the information. So do you know how many dollars?
Nope.
28-ounce bottle of water for $2.80. Oh, dollars is 2.80. Ounces
You got that?
is 28. So our division problem is going to be $2.80 divided by 28. So what's 2.80 divided by 28?
4.1. Zero
Yes,
point
that's
one.
correct. And since it's money, it's 0.10.
Way to go! Complete the statement.
All right, so which one is the better deal? We'll go with barge.
The first one,
All right, why do you say the first one?
because it's, I just guess it. I don't know.
All right, well, if you had to pay for something, do you want to pay for something that's 15 cents or you want to pay for something that's 10 cents?
10
All right,
cents.
so which one is that? The first one or the second one?
The second one.
So the second one is correct. 28-ounce water, bottle of water.
The gravity coaster travels 340 meters in 10 seconds. The hurricane coaster travels 190 meters in 5 seconds. Both coasters travel at a constant speed. Mario wants to ride the faster roller coaster. How fast does the gravity coaster travel? Find the unit rate.
All right, Torian, for our fraction, what's going to go on top? Meters or seconds? All right, Queen Africa, for our fraction, does meters go on top or seconds go on top? Okay, it is 340, but I was asking, does meters go on top or seconds? So it's meters, and then that happens to be the 340. So if 340 goes on top, what goes on the bottom? What goes on the bottom? 340 is the meters. So we know seconds goes on the bottom. How many seconds is that? 180. No, it's not 180. Nope, not 190. The gravity coaster. So we need to look at the sentence with the gravity coaster. The gravity coaster travels 340 meters in 10 seconds. So if you look right here, we said meters goes on top. So that's 340. That goes on top. Seconds goes on the bottom. It is not 190 seconds. It is 10 seconds. So 10 goes on the bottom. So now that we have our fraction, we just have to do the division problem. 340 divided by 10. So Queen Africa, what's 340 divided by 10? Yes, that's correct.
How fast does the hurricane coaster travel? Find the unit rate.
All right. So now, Queen Africa, again, we have meters per second. So for the hurricane coaster, since we're doing meters over seconds, what number goes on top? And then what number goes on the bottom? Yes, that's correct. So then what's our division problem going to be? Yes, that's correct. And then what is 190 divided by 5? Yes, you can use a calculator for this. You need to know how to do it without a calculator, but for right now, you can use a calculator. All right, let me see if that's right. So 190 divided by 5. Yes, that's correct, 38.
Complete the statement.
All right, so Queen Africa, which one's faster? You got to choose between the two. Is the gravity coaster faster or is the hurricane coaster faster? Yes, the hurricane coaster is faster. It goes 38 meters in a second, while the gravity coaster only goes 34.
A weekly train pass is good for 7 days and sells for $24.50. A monthly pass is good for 30 days and sells for $90. Keisha wants to compare the unit rates to find out which pass is a better deal. How much does a weekly pass cost per day? Find the unit rate.
All right. Farge, are you still there? All right, so
I'm
what's our
still
fraction
there.
going to be?
For the one that said 20,
Yeah,
the
the weekly
7
one.
days,
What's our units? What goes on, not the numbers, but the words. What words goes on top and what words goes on the bottom?
7 days
Oh,
and
no.
monthly.
We keep doing the same setup for every problem, but every single person seems to not know how to set up the problems, even though every single problem has been set up the same. I always ask for, what are the words? So we're not even doing any numbers. The words are what comes right before per and what comes right after per. So right before per is the dollar sign. So that means what goes on top is dollars. Then what comes right after per is day. So what goes on the bottom is days. The reason this is important is so you can get the numbers right. If you don't know what the words are, you might mess up and put the wrong numbers. So that's why it's important to always write what goes on top and what goes on the bottom. So since we're talking about the weekly train, you look at the sentence that's dealing with the weekly train. A weekly train pass is good for 7 days and sells for $24.50. So since the dollars are on top, the sentence says $24.50. So on top is $24.50. The bottom is days. The problem says 7 days.
The answer gonna be 3.5.
Yes, the answer is going to be 3.5, but you got to make sure you're paying attention to what's being asked. So if I don't ask for what's the answer, like don't give me the answer, because there's a lot of people in here that don't know how to do this. So like we have to do it the long way so that everyone can know how to do it. So you have to give the right answer so the people that don't know how to do it don't get confused. So you got to just follow what's being asked. So 24.50 divided by 7 equals 3.5. But like I've been saying, when you're dealing with dollars, you can't just write 3.5. You got to put 3.50 because dollars always has 2 digits after the decimal point.
How much does a monthly pass cost per day?
So far,
Find the
it's still
unit
your
rate.
turn. For this one, for our fraction, what words goes on top and what words goes on the bottom?
Dollars.
So dollars on
day.
top, days on the bottom. Again, if you don't know where that came from dollars was before per, day was after per. That's where he got those from. So for the monthly pass, that's this sentence here. So Farge, what number goes on top and what number goes on the bottom?
$90 go in the top and 30 days go. 30
Yes,
go
that's
in the
correct.
bottom.
So then what math problem do you do to get the answer for the box?
90 divided by 30.
What's that equal? Yes,
3.
that's correct. Thank you for following all the questions I was asking.
Complete the statement.
All right, so Farge, which train pass is a better deal? The weekly one or the monthly one?
The monthly
All right,
one.
why is that one a better deal?
Because it's the lowest.
Yes, it costs less money. When you're dealing with better deals, you want the one that costs the least amount. If you're talking about which one's faster or something, you want the bigger amount. But when you're talking about paying for something, you want the one that's the lower amount.
Well done.